Hello, I think I'm live. Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is my first YouTube live, so uh, I don't know what's going to happen. Even though there's fairly limited interaction between on a YouTube live, it still feels very live to me. Let me begin. My name is Alex Smith and I'm a coach. I've been coaching for 2 years now and I coach private clients. I've got an associate contract coaching with Sony Music UK and I do some work with the Humanitarian Coaching Network and a company called Genius Within, which works with neurodivergent clients. I'm super excited about this session today. The structure of the session is going to be 10 minutes talking about coaching, why coaching is great and how coaching might serve you, and the differences between coaching and a few other models like mentoring and therapy. And then we're going to go into a 20-minute coaching exercise where I'm going to be guiding you through a bunch of questions that will hopefully unlock some new learning for you and help move you forwards on whatever it is in your life that you want to change. Use of the chat today. Please use the chat with abandon. During the exercise, I'm going to ask that you guys don't use the chat, but until then, please do use the chat. I can see X amount of people, I can see a bunch of likes, but I don't know who you are, I don't know where you're from, I don't know what you're tuning in for. So please use the chat, let me know. And yeah, look forward to staying behind after the session and maybe having some more interaction with you guys. Okay. So what are the differences between coaching, mentoring, and therapy? And these three are often mentioned or are often quite in similar discussions because they all help people change things in their lives. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why, what the differences and similarities between them. And they all tend to be a discussion session between a professional and a client. With mentoring, we tend to think of mentoring as a specialist or someone with a lot of expertise giving advice or guiding someone with less expertise. And that's one way to make progress and to solve problems and to be really successful about what you want. That's fantastic. Coaching differs slightly in that rather than someone with a load of expertise telling someone with less expertise what to do or how to do it, in coaching, we come with this principle that the client or the coachee, the person receiving coaching, is whole and is totally capable and able to resolve their own problems with a little bit of support or with that deeper reflection that coaching allows. Therapy is different again and typically looks at the past, about why things are the way they are, and about deconstructing. It might be therapy around anxiety or mental health, and deconstructing what's happening and giving you new ways to orient your mind. So coaching, mentoring, and therapy, kind of all therapeutic, all empowering, all enabling, but still very, very different. And coaching is so powerful for me because it is, well, here's a few things about coaching that are really special and that I think make it so powerful. Coaching is a self-centered space, and typically self-centered has like some negative connotations to it, or it's like it's taboo to be self-centered. We talk about, oh, that's a really self-centered person. But coaching is self-centered in the most noble and beautiful sense of the phrase, where time and energy and thought of two people come together and is totally committed to one person and supporting that person to be their best selves. And then another thing that makes coaching great is that it enables higher level of reflections or realizations. And the questions that I'm going to run you guys through today will hopefully really provoke you to think about what's going on at a slightly deeper level. And if we can make higher order realizations or have deeper reflections on what's happening, then often we'll be able to make action where we want it. In coaching, we also strategize actions. So we come at a target of where we want to get to, and we strategize about what could we do to get there, what could we change, and we really, really robustly strategize different actions to get to where we want to be. And then lastly, coaching has this accountability. When we speak into life something, or we confirm to someone else that we want to do something, we're far more likely to do it. And there's that incentive or encouragement that says, yeah, I should go do that. Oh, yeah, I did tell that person I was going to do it. Oh, I'm meeting my friend next week and I told them I was going to do this. I haven't got around to it yet. Yeah, maybe I will do that. So coaching can be hugely powerful, and we typical themes that come up in coaching are progress towards goals, and goals can be really varied. It could be something really specific, like preparing a university application or completing a project, or it could be something vague, like feeling more confident or resolving some personal issue. And then in coaching, we also do a lot of breakdown of negative mindsets that I think of as like spring cleaning your mind. Thinking about mindsets which have some resistance or provide some resistance in your life and breaking them down, looking at, is it really fair to have that mindset? Is it justified that I have that mindset? And then thinking about what mindset might be more appropriate. Now, to introduce the exercise we're going to be doing today, it's based on the idea that if you're given space and silence, some of our best thinking can emerge. And I want anyone watching to trust the process. It's going to be 20 minutes. It's a small amount of time you're committing. Just trust it, give yourself to it, give it your attention, and don't hold back. You don't need to share your answers with anyone. So you don't need to be afraid of who sees you doing this or who is going to see your answers. This is all just personal. And I'm not going to be asking anyone to put anything in the chat. But I do think it'd be really helpful if you write your answers down on paper. I'm going to be reading out a series of questions, and I'm going to give you time to think and react and respond in between each question. And you can explore the answers internally, out loud, or written down on paper. And I think you'll probably get the most out of it if you write your answers down. But please don't write your answers in the chat, because this could be super distracting for other watchers. And if there's a question and you're like, wow, I have no idea what the answer to that is. Okay, well, what would be the answer if you did know the answer? What's your best guess? Or what parts of the answer do you know? So the more you just attempt and indulge in this process, the more you'll get out of it. And I'm going to start with these questions in just a minute. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, grab a paper, grab a pen, settle yourself, take a few deep breaths like I will, and then we'll get started. As we go, I'm going to post the questions in the chat. So if you want to refer back to what question was, you have a record there. Okay, first question. What do you want? What specifically do you want? What will your life be like in the future if you have this? What will your life be like in the future if you don't have this? What are the benefits of achieving this? How important is this to you? If you had totally achieved this, what emotions would be present for you? If you had totally achieved this, what would things be like? If you had totally achieved this, what would you be able to do then? What are some signs or markers that will tell you that you've achieved this? What's a belief that you have about yourself that might limit your progress towards what you want? How do you know that your belief is true? In what situations has it not been true? How does your belief positively serve you? How does this belief hold you back? What's a different belief that would support you better? When would be a reasonable time frame to have achieved what you want by? What is happening currently in your life that is connected to what you want? What externally is holding you back from what you want? What internal obstacles or resistances are there that are holding you back? What could you do to overcome what's holding you back? If a 10 out of 10 is total success in achieving what you want, where are you at the moment? What's the very first step to an action that could progress you up that scale? Up that scale? What's another thing that you could do? What else? Which of these possibilities appeals to you the most? What would be the benefits of doing this? What would be the costs of doing this? What would be the costs of not doing this? What will you do? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely to do this are you? When would be the most convenient time for you to do this? Is there anything else that needs to be considered before you can do this? And lastly, this is our final question. What could you do to make yourself more committed to taking action? So that finishes our exercise. And we begun by talking about the goal, or what it is that you want, what that looks like, what the benefits to achieving it, what total achievement of that goal would look like, of what you want would look like, how you'd feel, what you'd be able to do once you had that, what might tell you that you had made it there, that you had achieved that. And then looking at what's happening right now in the moment, what's connected to everything going on, that's connected to that goal. And then bringing it to a close with thinking about what could you do? What are the options to progress towards that goal that you want? And then very lastly, what will you do? What are you going to commit to do? And how can we make that commitment as strong as possible? And I just want you to reflect 30 odd questions. I just want you to reflect on how you feel having worked through this exercise, having considered these questions and their answers. And if you're comfortable, yeah, write your reflections in the chat. How do you feel as a result of completing that exercise? And I think something that also deserves reflection is which of those questions or which of the answers that you've given deserve to be circled or have an asterisk next to them. Which of those questions or answers were really important to you or really seem valuable? And lastly, I'd just like to acknowledge and celebrate that for all of those people who have done this, completed this exercise together, you've just tried something, maybe something you've never tried before, to make positive progress in your life. And I've got huge respect for anyone who does that. So thank you. If anyone has any questions for me or wants to share something they learn or the value they're taking away from the exercise or ask me anything else about coaching, now's the time, and I'll be here live in the chat until the questions end or for a couple of minutes. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, David. And David, are you tuning in from Alicante, would that be? I think I might recognize your name. Fantastic. Great to see you. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, and for anyone who wants to send me any chatter about coaching or otherwise, I'll put my LinkedIn profile or email in the chat here. Always happy to connect, especially talking about coaching. Sarah, what do you do when you don't know the answer to a question? Part of coaching is giving clients the space to know the answer to questions, or the space to really explore and develop their thoughts on an answer. You can take as long as you want to work out the answer to a question. And often you might not know the full answer, but you might have part of the answer. Or you might have, or just being asked a question might trigger you to come to different answers that are relevant. So it doesn't matter if you don't know the answer to a question. Sometimes you're completely blank, and that's cool. We'll just ask another question and see what realizations and answers we can draw up that seem valuable and relevant and meaningful to what the coachee wants. Thank you to all the hundreds of viewers who tuned in today. Any further questions in the comments when this is posted or in a video. I'm Alex Smith. Been a pleasure, and all the best. Ciao.